Yesterday, Victoria's Chief Health Officer, Brett Sutton, appeared before the Victorian Parliamentary Inquiry into the I Cook Food saga. What's emanated from the inquiry were two distinct issues. One, it seems Brett Sutton is not averse to distorting reality, and two, he definitely lacks credibility. Sutton and his deputy Angie Bone both believe they are untouchable and protected by Dan Andrews. And now, Sutton is a man whose reputation is in tatters, which then raises another question. Is Brett Sutton Dan Andrews' henchman? Has Sutton been guaranteed by Andrews full protection? Because Andrews understands if Sutton does come unstuck, his position as Premier is untenable. Right from the beginning, I Cook Food's Ian Cook has been consistent and damning with his attack on the alleged criminality of the greater city of Dandenong, the Victorian State Government and the cabal of bureaucrats within the Department of Health. Ian Cook has never had to hide behind parliamentary privilege, such has been the strength of his case and evidence. Or is he ever worried about being sued for defamation, despite the strength of his statements and attack on the Premier, Brett Sutton, Elizabeth Garlick and everyone else involved who have cowardly hidden behind the privilege that Parliament offers? As a matter of fact, Ian Cook has actually invited Brett Sutton and all parties involved in the I Cook Food saga to sue him. Their silence has been as deafening as it has been damning. That offer has never been accepted, which then begs the question, why? As Augustine of Hippo once said, truth is always like a lion. You don't have to defend it, let it loose and it will defend itself. Now, the greater city of Dandenong last year attempted to enact 92 trumped up charges. That's 46 on Ian Cook himself and 46 on I Cook Foods. Charges that were so serious they had the potential to see Ian Cook serve jail time. And yet, in a matter of hours on the day Ian Cook was to appear in court, the greater city of Dandenong withdrew all charges. Charges that were known to be fabricated and that would not have stacked up. Falsified charges that had the potential to expose the extent of corruption and criminality undertaken by the architects of the move to bring down I Cook Foods. A move that would have seen Community Chef benefit financially from I Cook's closure. But wiser heads within the City of Dandenong's legal counsel understood that charges against Ian Cook and I Cook Foods would never have succeeded. So a process of haggling began when clarity dawned on them the charges would have all failed. Now, as proceedings were about to commence, Ian Cook was advised they were prepared to drop 46 of the 92 charges, but Ian Cook remained resolute. He didn't accept the offer and was prepared to tell his story to the magistrate. Suddenly, another rethink was had by Dandenong Council. Their next move was to drop a further 42 charges and just leave 4 on the table for Ian Cook to face. Ian Cook, once again, remained resolute. And then they offered to drop all 92 charges, but they wanted Ian Cook to sign a non-disparagement clause. They tried to gag Ian Cook from talking to the media, but Ian Cook wouldn't sign a gag clause. He remained resolute again. Had he, Australians would never have been aware of the level of corruption that exists within the government and the extent people will go to defraud and advance agendas regardless of whose lives they ruin. Community Chef, a funded and established operation of the state and federal Labor governments, initiated by Andrews and Anthony Albanese. Andrews and Albanese have a lot to answer to. Community Chef was set up with a $9 million non-repayable interest-free loan that would serve as the basis to fund a scheme to destroy I Cook Foods as a competitor or anyone else seen as competition. In addition to the Parliamentary Inquiry, the Informer reliably understands that Victoria Police have issued search warrants and seized documents in the criminal investigation into the I Cook Food saga. Now, we know where there's smoke, there's fire, and it seems Brett Sutton and Dan Andrews' kitchen is well and truly alight.